the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another live broadcast on your favorite football updates channel. It's a pleasure to have you to be back this Thursday late night / evening, depending on what your time zone could be. There's plenty of news for us to talk about and digest. Plenty is happening in as far as the transfer window is concerned. In as far as football is concerned, Tottenham got beat by 4-0 against Paris Saint-Germain and things like that. So we'll be discussing that and more in regards to tonight's broadcast. Anyways, before we go any further, allow me, excuse me, have our audios tested and everything to make sure we do not miss out on any single thing. But more importantly, I want to send my special shout outs to every single one of you that did join our morning broadcast. Thank you so much, the Yellow Dayak, Shmail, for always sparing the time to be with us on every single day that you can afford to be with us. So once again, we are back to bring you the latest. People like Shmail, the Yellow Dayak, who else? Ifane, SM, and then who else? Who else did I not mention there? But yeah, and all the others that were part of the morning broadcast. It was a pleasure to have you guys around, and it will be a pleasure to see you once again. So thank you so much for the love and support. For our new community members who have recently subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for joining the Football Tribe community. It's good to have you back. Sorry, it's good to have you on the platform, and I hope you will enjoy your stay with us, as many that have come before you have gone on to enjoy our channel. We have some regulars, we have some semi-regulars, and the non-regulars, people who do support the channel in every single way that they can support it. So yeah, like I said, tonight there's plenty to discuss, including James Maddison is ruled out for the next 6 to 7 months, possibly quite very unfortunate for him, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Unfortunately, then Bayern Munich have made an inquiry about a Chelsea striker. We will get to speak about that. Enemy 28 says hi enemy. Good to have you on the broadcast. I'm surprised by your name, so please do not do not be caught off guard when you see me sort of cringing or fringing my face a little bit. It's just that I was caught off guard by the name enemy. It almost sounds like enemy, and yet it's quite totally different. It's quite totally different. But yeah, Allwin, hi Allwin, hi, how are you, dude? I'm all right. I'm all right. Good to have you on the broadcast. I hope you're all right as well. Do let me know where you're joining us from this Thursday night / evening. Because for me it's about 22 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. East African time, and I do come to you live from Kampala, Uganda. Jesus loves you, dude. Thank you so much. Amen to that. I hope, and I think he loves you too as well. But I praise him indeed. Where do we even start the conversation? Because there is plenty to discuss. It's a football community, it's a sports community. We get to discuss the latest from the world of sport, from the world of football in particular. We'll bring you the latest in regards of transfers and news surrounding your favorite teams. I think the most frequently asked question on this forum is the question of Messi or Ronaldo, which I always say they are both living legends that continue to do astronomical things in the game of football. Lionel Messi at Inter Miami and Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr there over in the Saudi Pro League. So for me, I wouldn't want to bastardize the debate by a mere choice of this or that, because I do respect every single one of them for the great strides and achievements that they have achieved in the long spells of their respective careers. So that was Mahi asking Messi or Ronaldo. I hope that answers you. Jesus, with you, dude, in your all work, I praise him. He will bless you Amen to that. Amen to that. So, anyways, guys, quickly, let's kick things off, I think, with Tottenham Hotspur, because they did receive some very, very unpleasant news today that their player, the playmaker James Maddison, had suffered an injury, which is believed to be an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Invite to meet you, dude. Bye. Take care. Oh, nice to meet you, dude. Bye. Take care. Thank you so much, Alwyn, for sparing a moment to be with us. But I hope before you signed out, you did subscribe to the channel. But thank you so much. So yes, Tottenham Hotspurs did learn of the very unfortunate news that James Maddison, who went off in that game against Newcastle in agonizing pain, has suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury. It looked bad right from the onset. The way he reacted to that, was really, really evident that it was bound to be a very, very serious injury. We all couldn't know what really happened, because it almost happened in a manner that you would not expect it to be happening. And by that, what do I mean? I mean that there wasn't much contact or fight for the ball. You ask who have more golden boot in football? Who has the most golden boots in football? Wow, that's I don't know. It could be Cristiano Ronaldo. It could be Cristiano Ronaldo, because even last season he won the Golden Boot for the Saudi Pro League when he scored, I think, a tally of 25 goals in the league. But yeah, that's an interesting question. Was the most Golden Boots? Golden Boots. I think it may vary with maybe UEFA competitions, domestic leagues, but when it comes to, there's things like that. So when it comes to Europe, the European Golden Boot, I think Lionel Messi has the most, or holds the record for most European Golden Boots, there with the tally of 6, and then Cristiano Ronaldo comes second with 4. So then the Premier League alone, you have Thierry Henry and Mohamed Salah all tied at 4. Then when you go to the FIFA World Cup, let me see. Justin Fontaine holds the record for a single tournament, which was 13 goals in 1958. So, but yeah. Then when it comes to the UEFA European Championship Golden Boot, you have Cristiano Ronaldo, who holds the record for most goals in a single campaign. I think that was 14. Should be anywhere between 2014 and 2018, around that period. But thank you so much for your question. So, like I was saying, when it came to James Maddison, there didn't appear to be any contact, but in a moment he looked to limp. Because he walked off the turf and then walked back in, and before signaling to the referee, he looked to be so much pain. And you see, these anterior cruciate ligament injuries, oftentimes they happen even when there is more contact, or sometimes not contact. I do remember the one I think Hector Bellerin suffered. It's not like it had been a hard attack against him that he suffered that. Rob Holding. Then you remember last year in October, when Lodri suffered one, Lodri at Manchester City. So there was a bit of a simple tackle between him and Thomas Partey. Nothing looked serious. He went on the floor and he was substituted. Then it was an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Then I think the other one was Zaniolo at AC Roma. He suffered one of those. Eder Militao suffered one of those, and possibly Thibaut Courtois suffered one of those. So Gabriel Jesus. So this kind of injury, unfortunately, oftentimes does not take a lot of contact for it to happen. And so James Maddison will be out for at least 6 to 7 months through an anterior cruciate ligament injury. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome to the Footballtribe UG channel. I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda, in case you're wondering, and it's about 29 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. It's good to have you. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing to the channel and help me on my journey to 2,000 subscribers. at the moment. So I'll be really, really glad and grateful if you do go and make that decision. Anyways, so 6 to 7 months out, that means he misses what? Basically, the entire first half of the season, he gets to miss that, and he could be back between anywhere between late January and February, around that period. So that means Tottenham Hotspurs need to go out and sign a number 10. Already before his injury, they were out in the market for number 10, and they had their sights on Morgan Gibbs-White from Morgan Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest. Official Kadak. Hi, how are you doing? Why are you joining us from Official Kadak? So, before even this injury, they already wanted a number 10, tried to sign Morgan Gibbs-White, already to activate that £60 million where it's closed. Things went apeshit in between there, with Nottingham Forest threatening legal action. Indeed, they did notify the Premier League to open, an investigation for what they deemed to be an illegal approach on the player and something like that. So, Namiro, hey, I'm following from Entebbe City, Uganda. Good to have you, Namiro, on the broadcast. It's a pleasure to have a fellow Ugandan joining, and I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. It's a pleasure to see you around. Kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Official, you did ask where are you from? Kampala, Uganda. I hope that answers you as well. Do let me know what team you guys, what any team you support, regardless of what league it may be playing in. But more importantly, if you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing. So, when that deal with Morgan Gibbs-White fell through, Tottenham Hotspurs were left barehanded because he ended up renewing his contract at Nottingham Forest with a 3-year deal, extending his stay until June 2028. That's for the 25-year-old England playmaker Morgan Gibbs-White. Among the other players that have been linked with the potential move too is Jack Grealish of Manchester City, 29 years of age, still has 2 years left to his current contract. He can play as a number 10, but he can also play off the left wing. Then the other player has been Ebelechi Eze of Crystal Palace, can play as a 10 and also can play off the left wing. So those are some of the other players that Tottenham Hotspurs have been linked with as potential playmakers to join them. When it comes to Ebelechi Eze, they will have to compete for his signature with Arsenal, because Arsenal are also interested in his signature. While when it comes to Jack Grealish, Everton have already approached Manchester City and they are engaged in talks of potentially signing Jack Grealish on an initial season-long loan. So we'll wait to see how that will span out. Moving away from the James Maddison deal and what Tottenham may look to do for a replacement. Let's stay with Tottenham Hotspurs, because today they did lose to Bayern Munich by 4-0. Harry Kane scoring against his former team. He did manage to score a brace, the first goal coming in the 12th minute, while 3 minutes later he did convert from the penalty spot. Very, very incredible game there. Kingsley Coman was the other on target. Harry Kane missed a penalty. Yes, he missed a penalty. So he had the opportunity to make it a brace, but he missed a penalty. So that was in the 15th minute. Then Kingsley Coman was the other on target, as well as Kai and Kosi Asari. Kosi Asari were the others on target for FC Bayern Munich as they beat up against Harry Kane's former club in Tottenham Hotspurs. Of course, he did not celebrate when he scored against his former side, but yeah, very, very, electric game there, and in the manner in which Bayern Munich did handle it. Unfortunately, I missed watching this game because I was busy running some errands and then heavy traffic and stuff like that. But when you look at when you look at Bayern Munich, they did start with a very, very strong team that included the likes of Michael Olise playing as a 10, Luis Diaz on one end, and Kingsley Coman on the other. Harry Kane, leading the lines. Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka were in the double pivot, while Konrad Laimer was at the left back. Was at the right back. And then you had David Upamecano, Jonathan Tah, and Josip Stanisic there to complete the back four, while Manuel Neuer was in goal. On the side of Tottenham Hotspur, they had Guillermo Vicario, they had Jody Spence, they had Mickey van de Ven, Christian Romero, and Pedro Porro. João Vitinha did start, as well as alongside Rodrigo Bentancur, Mohamed Kudus, and Pepe Matza. Bernard Johnson were the others that did start for Tottenham Hotspur, with Richarlison leading the lines. As the case often is that so many changes were made. I think about 6 changes for Tottenham Hotspur, while Bayern Munich made as many as 10. So, but that was the nature of the game. But like I said, I did not watch this game because I got caught up in the midst of running errands and stuff like that. But it was a beautiful game to watch, based on the highlights that I've managed to catch up on, and that was it. Perhaps we should stay with Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich are making news for I don't know if for the right reasons, but it is the right reasons, because there's nothing else to call it for what it is. But Bayern Munich have made inquiries about the availability of Nicolas Jackson. This is a bit of a surprise for me, and particularly because given all the kinds of qualities of strikers that are out there, I did not think at one point that Bayern Munich will be making an inquiry about Nicolas Jackson. We are talking about a side that looks to that wants to sign Nick Waldschmidt from Stuttgart, that made inquiries about the availability of Hugo Ekitike as a potential future long-term replacement for Harry Kane and things like that. But it was only speculation. But according as exclusively revealed by Florian Plettenberg, who works with Sky Germany, said FC Bayern Munich have made inquiries about Nicolas Jackson in the past few hours. Bayern Munich have gathered information on his current status, price, and conditions. Newcastle are seriously interested. The 24-year-old versatile striker is on the verge of leaving Chelsea. Price valuation is about 65 million euros. Now, the 65 million euros is quite contrary to what has been significantly reported during the course of this summer by some sources like Ben Jacobs of Giving Sport and Talk Sport, because he did say earlier this month, this was on the 5th of August, he did say Nicolas Jackson is another name on Newcastle's list of attacking options, and Chelsea are open to a sale. There have been some initial club-to-club talks already. Brentford's Yohan Wissa is another target, with the player pushing to join Newcastle. Several options are discussed by Newcastle alongside their pursuit for Benjamin Sesko, but we all know that Benjamin Sesko has since chosen Manchester United over Newcastle. And then today he did return to say that more on Nicolas Jackson and Newcastle. His initial talks have already taken place. Chelsea are prepared to sanction an exit. Newcastle were fully focused on Benjamin Sesko, but now considering whether to make an approach. Chelsea value Jackson at around 80 million pounds. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Nicolas Jackson is a very good player, very good striker. Does he miss lots of chances? Yes, he does miss lots of chances, but I think there's so much room for improvement. But he's already posting some good numbers there, because when you look at his debut campaign at Chelsea, he scored 14 goals and provided 5 assists in 35 appearances, while last season he made 30 appearances, scored 10 goals and provided 5 assists. That's another 15-goal involvement, which is almost a 50%, which is a 50% goal involvement. So, which looks good. But the valuation of 80 million pounds is way an overvaluation. 65 million euros, I would understand, given the current circumstances in the present day market for the transfer window. But 80 million pounds, that for me is way an overvaluation when it comes to a player like Benjamin Sesko. But like I said, Bayern Munich are not the only ones interested. You do have Newcastle interested. You have AC Milan have also inquired, as well as Juventus have all explored. And this is according to Sky Sports Premier League. They say AC Milan, Juventus, and Bayern Munich have all explored. the conditions of a deal for Chelsea striker Nicolas Jackson, with Newcastle also keeping an eye on the situation. That's according to the Sky Sport Premier League. So is he a good player that is capable of playing for any team, whether it's Juventus, AC Milan, or whichever team may want to sign him, including Bayern Munich or Newcastle? Most definitely he can. But the valuation of 80 million pounds is way wide of the mark, in my personal opinion. 65 million euros, I'm willing to to listen, because this is a player that joined Chelsea just about 2 seasons ago from Villarreal for about about 28 million pounds or less, something like that. So anyways, let's move away from Nicolas Jackson for now and visit and go to where should we go next? Let's go to Chelsea. After all, we're speaking about a Chelsea player. Now, Chelsea are in formal talks with Manchester United over signing over the signing of Jadon Sancho. He is a player that they really like. They did attempt to sign him in January. Same happened for Napoli. They all attempted, but they could not have a deal in place. Now, according to David Austin of The Athletic, he says Chelsea have stepped up talks with Manchester United over a deal to sign Alejandro Garnacho. Clubs in touch on topic for some time now and advancing amid Benjamin Sesko joining Manchester United. 21-year-old winger wants Chelsea FC or nothing, plus expects a move to happen. He does expect a move to happen. Just a couple of days gone by, he did like a post by Fabrizio Romano saying that Chelsea were interested in signing him. And according to Ben Jacobs, he says that Manchester United are seeking for a fee in the excess of 40 million pounds, but Chelsea feel the price will drop should Benjamin Sesko's move be completed. Now, some sources say that Chelsea value the player, that Man United value the player at 50 million pounds, 10 million pounds less than what they were demanding for in January, although it remains a little bit high, because we're talking about a player that is yet to prove himself. He looks exciting, in some of the things he does on the ball, but he's far from a finished product that I think we can acknowledge just as much. Then away from Chelsea and their pursuit for Jadon Sancho, let's turn our attention to Manchester United, since Chelsea are pursuing a Manchester United player in Alejandro Garnacho. Now, Manchester United earlier on today did agree a deal with RB Leipzig to sign Benjamin Sesko in a deal worth a total of 85 million euros. 76.5 million euros is the guaranteed fees, plus 8.5 million euros is the expected add-ons for the 22-year-old Slovenian striker to complete his move from RB Leipzig to Manchester United. The player has already traveled to Manchester ahead of completing that move, of course, pending medicals to be done, but he can be considered a Manchester United player in principle. Now, the deal in itself, as part of the deal, Manchester United did also agree to play a friendly game at the Red Bull Arena in Leipzig, Germany, that RB Leipzig think could help them raise about 1.5 to 2 million euros. And then also, it is also reported, this is according to Sky Sports Germany, that RB Leipzig also have a future sell-on clause on the striker's deal. So he's expected to put pen to paper on a 5-year contract with the Red Devils. That's Benjamin Sesko there. Another young striker that Manchester United do add to their ranks, in addition to what they already have with Rasmus Højlund. They do have Joshua Zirkzee, Chido Martin Obi. Joshua Zirkzee is 24, Rasmus Højlund is 22, Chido Martin Obi is 18, coming on 19, maybe very soon. So yeah, that's the profile of strikers that Manchester United do have at their disposal. On paper, it's a very good deal, but like I keep saying, we've been here before. Manchester United signing a very promising talent from Europe, and then things will not happen. for them. However, I have a feeling that this one could, succeed, not because it is a different Manchester United, but because it's a different manager that is going to be playing under, and that's Ruben Amorim. And from based on what I've so far seen in preseason, I think I've been fairly impressed by what Manchester United do, especially when they have the ball and when they do not have the ball, and collectively as a team. Is there room for improvement? Most definitely, but things are starting to click into place there for Manchester United. So that deal is as good as done. Speaking of deals that as good as done is Lucas Chevalier to Paris Saint-Germain. Here we go already. A deal is agreed in place between Olympique Lyon and PSG there. So for the player to join, Tester for life. How is it, man? It's all good. Good to have you back on the broadcast. I hope. How was your day, my brother? How has been your day? Do let me know. My day has been a little bit tiring, to be honest. Somebody decided to make it long, and by somebody I mean our president. He had we had votes blocked because he was a movie. Anyways, but that's all part of life. But I can say it's all good. It's all good. How about yours? How was it? So Lucas Chevalier is joining PSG from Lille. Sorry, not Olympique Lyon. That was a slip of the tongue. So he's joining from Lille for about 40 million euros. There, he is expected to put pen to paper on a 5-year contract with medical tests set to follow in the coming week. Excuse me. Now, many people have been wondering why PSG signing a good goalkeeper like Lucas Chevalier, yet they do have already Gianluigi Donnarumma. It was a busy day at work, so I'm feeling tired. Understandable, but some days, there are days when it's good to be tired. Could be one of those days for you. Some days you're just happy to be tired because it's all worth it at the end of the day. But thank you so much for letting us know. Anyways, so the reason as why PSG are signing Lucas Chevalier is because Gianluigi Donnarumma has yet to agree to a new contract. He's already entered the final year of his contract at PSG, and if he plays hardball and looks to move on a free, then PSG will have their hands literally tied behind the back. So that's why they've looked already around the room for a potent replacement for the 26-year-old Italian goalkeeper. And if anything, Luis Enrique has shown us he's not afraid of losing a big player for as long as the team can move on past that. We saw what they did with Kylian Mbappe, and he did say that the team was going to be better for it. And indeed, last season they were better. They went on to win almost every major piece of silverware that they did participate in, but the FIFA Club World Cup over there in the USA in the summer. So that deal is also happening. Then what else? What else have we not mentioned? Yes. Let's now go to Barcelona, and this is something that Pedri was bringing us to light just the other day. Guys, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome to the podcast. I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda. It's about 48 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. It's good to have you. Kindly consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here, and help me to 2,000 subscribers and help the community continue to grow. But thank you so much. Do let us know where you're joining us from in the comment section, and I'll be reading all your comments. At least tomorrow I get to see my lady, so that will make my week worth the hard work. Okay, I wish you all the best in that regard. So Barcelona captain is being punished or is facing disciplinary proceedings or sanctions, for lack of a better word. So again, they have dethroned him. They've taken they've taken the armband off of him. He's not going to be the Barcelona captain anymore. He's his former deputy or vice captain in Ronald Araujo will assume the role of wearing the armband, and I guess senior players like Robert Lewandowski and Rafinha will also be part of that leadership group for Hansi Flick. But the decision follows disciplinary proceedings opened against Marc-Andre ter Stegen. During this period, the duties of first captain will be assumed by current vice captain Ronald Araujo. So that is what Barcelona put out in the wake of that news. Like I was saying, Pedro is the one who brought us. Is the one who brought this situation to our know. How do you say hello in your language? Hello in my language. It's a bit of a tricky word because there's no straight word to it. There is a greeting of like the word that is normally commonly used. Its English translation is "How are you?" It's Oriotia, and I don't know if you have any relation to Zulu or Sizulu, but some of the words may sound a little slightly similar. The Luganda words versus the Sizulu words. So we say Oriotia, how are you? Ori or Tia, how are you? Usually that's the quick way of saying hello, of how we greet. But thanks for asking. So yeah, that's the situation at Barcelona. Pedro brought this situation to our know that Hansi Flick does not want Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Apparently, he's refused. The Barcelona doctors to partake in his, surgery that he's undergoing and things like that. He's refusing to be deregistered so that Joan Garcia can be registered with, the La Liga. And then he did also mention something that that Barcelona want to move him on. And I said, if he doesn't want to leave and the club want to move him on, then possibly it may boil down to having his contract terminated, and and then that means Barcelona having to pay him to leave, basically. So earlier this summer there were reports linking him with the potential move to Galatasaray, but yeah, that has so far not materialized. Like I did say, once Barcelona signed Joan Garcia and also extended Vok Szczesny's contract by another 2 years, it always left a big question of what do they think of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. So that's the situation with the German goalkeeper at FC Barcelona. But a lot of things are happening. Plenty of things are happening over there. But we'll do our best to keep tabs on it. Then Darwin Núñez did receive the green light, by the way, to travel to Germany for his medicals ahead of completing a move to Al Hilal there in the Saudi Pro League. So we'll wait and see. anyways, let's just wait and see. Okay, that's not the name I was looking for. I was totally looking for a different name. Anyways, let's quickly move on to the latest from the world of speculation and transfer gossip. Do you think Darwin Núñez is going to make it in the Saudi Pro League? I think he has a higher chance. Although he's also going to be playing for a team that does come with a bit of pressure because they want to win the league. Al Ittihad are the ones that won it last season with that team of Karim Benzema, I think the N'Golo Kantes. That's the team that won it. So, and Al Hilal finished second, while Al Nassr finished third on that 18 table log. So there will be a bit of pressure for him to deliver, but I think he will do okay over there. He's not a bad striker. although he does tend to miss lots of chances, but then he's capable of scoring those special goals that remind you of how good a player he can be and things like that. So I think he will thrive away from all the media scrutiny and blazes that come with European football and the Premier League more so in particular. Then I have the feeling that he will do well. He's going to sign a 3-year contract over there, so let's just wait and see. Anyways, this is the latest from the world of gossip and speculation as compiled by BBC Sport. We've discussed, Nicolas Jackson being inquired about by Bayern Munich, and according to Sky Sport Germany, is valued at about £48 million. Then Newcastle striker Alexander Isak will not play for the club in the preseason games against Espanyol and Atletico de Madrid this weekend amidst uncertainty about his future and interest from Liverpool. Multiple sources are reporting that Liverpool are preparing their second offer. They are just waiting for Newcastle to say, we are open to listening to your second offer, and then they will put it henceforward. Then AC Milan are interested in taking Rasmus Højlund from Manchester United. The 22-year-old striker is available for about £30 million, but Milan are keen on a loan move. That's according to Gazette dello Sport. Tottenham have had a £30 million bid for Nico Paz, turned down by Como, who value the 20-year-old Argentine attacking midfielder at about £52 million. That's according to Sky Sports Italy. Aston Villa have rejected an £18 million offer from Everton for Scotland midfielder John McGinn, 30 years of age, who is also attracting interest from Newcastle. That's according to Sky Sports News. Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr are ready to meet Brentford's asking price for 28-year-old DR Congo forward Yohan Wissa, who is also a target for Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. That's according to L'Equipe in France. Then Spanish defender Inigo Martinez, 34, is set to cancel his contract with Barcelona and move as a free agent to Al Nassr. That's according to Mundo Deportivo. That's also the other news that has been widely reported today. Manchester City have turned down an offer from Roma for Argentine midfielder Claudio Echeverri, 19, as they want to loan him to Girona, who are under the City Football Group umbrella. That's according to Calcio Mercato, there in Italian. Then also Preston North End are close to completing a loan move for Tottenham's under-21 England attacking midfielder Alfie Devine. Then while Coventry City want £15 million for their Dutch right back Milan van a week. There, Wolves and Wolfsburg are among clubs keen on signing the 24-year-old from Coventry. So that's the latest from the world of gossip and speculation. There you have it. Cesc Fabregas has good chance of getting top 6 this season for Como. Yeah, if they can have a good start to the season, because last season I thought they did really well. Finishing 10th was really impressive. I think they finished 10th with a tally of what? About 50 plus points. Really, it looked really impressive. If they can replicate that form early on in the season, then I have no doubt that indeed they can achieve, top 6. Zlatan, would you say Fana Aglama? What does that mean? What does that mean? First tell me, what does the word mean? Zlatan, what does the word or phrase mean? What does it mean? Kindly let us know. Thank you as well. Anyways. So, guys, I think we've discussed it all. We've talked about Benjamin Sesko. We've talked about Nicolas Jackson. We've talked about James Maddison. Also, Thomas Partey did complete his move to Villarreal. He was officially announced today as a new Villarreal player. He did sign a 2-year contract to join the Yellow Submarines there of La Liga. And yeah, interesting stuff there. Very, very interesting bit for Thomas Partey. We wish him all the best. Then this is according to Playmaker. It says Chelsea defender Levi Colwill has apparently suffered an ACL injury. That's according to Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook. So, and somebody commented by saying, hide your defenders because Chelsea are definitely going to attack the market. If I'm Chelsea, I'd simply run to Crystal Palace and sign Mark Cahill. Very, very good defender. Because remember, they signed Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg and loaned him back. So it's not like they're going to, unless they have an option to, recall that. But yeah, Levi Colwill has already undergone surgery, as a successful surgery on his ACL injury. Levi Colwill is one of the standout defenders that Chelsea have. Now that means they remain with Axel Disasi, Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana, who has equally just returned from injury, Tosin Aderabio. They still have a couple of names in there, but they need that, that reliable key figure in their backline, a bit of a leader. And I think they can rush to, what time do you normally start your streams, Tribe? I normally start at 11 p.m., although today we were a bit late. We started, I think, at about 18 minutes past 11 p.m. But usually at 11 p.m., that's when I do start. And then for the morning broadcasts, those ones come at 9 a.m. Oftentimes, sometimes there's a variation in a couple of minutes past the hour, but around 9 a.m., those are the timelines for which we do start the broadcasts. Hi, Emily. Oh, Emily, it's been a while. I haven't seen you around in a while. It's me, Emily, again. That day when I was talking to you at night. Yes, I do remember you, Emily. It's been a while since I last saw you on the forum. I hope you've been good. I hope you're doing well. Then also, the other key news is that West Ham did agree an £18 million deal to sign Leicester City goalkeeper Mads Hermansen. Mads Hermansen is set to join Graham Potter's side. Their personal terms are already in place, so he will be looking to do his medicals over there and complete a move to London from Leicester City. Looks like Leicester City are losing a couple. They have a 20-year-old, I think, Moroccan winger who is a target for many clubs. Then also they did lose Wilfred Ndidi to Besiktas. That's there also. So then according to Ben Jacobs, Rasmus Højlund is valued at about £40 million as they actively seek for an exit. So Manchester United are putting it out there that they want an exit. I think at the value of £40 million for a striker that is still 22, you could take a bet on him because that's not too much money compared to current, circumstances in the market. You take a bet on him, and I've heard reports that teams like Bayer Leverkusen, where his former manager, that's Erik ten Hag, is head coach or manager. Then of course there's interest from Italian clubs, a whole host of them. I think £40 million is not really an exaggeration. Price up by £10 million from a previously understood to be £30 million number. Højlund on record saying he wants to stay and fight for his place, but Leipzig discussed Højlund, Serie A and Saudi interest. I do not think he should be going to the Saudi Pro League at that stage or at this stage in his career. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure doing this. I want to wrap this one up early a bit because it's already midnight anyway. But more importantly, I have a schedule to run to. I'm off now, Tribe, and everyone watching. You all must enjoy the rest of your day. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, testers of life, for always sparing the time to be with us. I wish you the very best there down in South Africa. But thank you so much for always sparing a minute to be with us in our respective broadcasts. Then, of course, speaking of CHAN, that's the African Nations Championships. DR Congo did beat up against Zambia by 2-0, while Kenya, who finished the game with the madness, did force Angola in a 1-1 draw. Tomorrow, South Africa are up against Algeria at 5 p.m. East African time. That game is going to be at Namwale Stadium, Mandela National Stadium. That stadium, which was built, funded by South Africa, by the Chinese here. Then Guinea will be up against Uganda. So Uganda, apparently the Ugandan coaches, Morevi Kwaso and his counterparts, were summoned to State House, Nakasero, by the Minister of Education and Sports, who also doubles as the country's first lady, Janet Kataha Museveni. And he told, she was very bitter with them. She did tell them that they should quit, playing with the country's future, that the government has invested a lot, in hosting CHAN and, and everything that revolves around the competition, also as part of the build-up to AFCON 2027, that they should take things more seriously. And she expects to see a better performance against Guinea because she was there seated in the stands, watching in the VIP section as Uganda were put to the sword, losing by 3-0 against Algeria. That was, I think, on Tuesday. Was it on Tuesday or Monday? So she did summon some officials from the Cranes camp there and grilled them. But we'll wait to hear more on what really transpired in that meeting. Anyways, thank you so much, Testa of Life. Emily, thank you so much. Zlatan, it was a pleasure seeing you around. Alwin, then official Kadak, it was a pleasure seeing you around. And Enemy, thank you so much for being part of tonight's podcast. Have yourselves a blessed night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.